She, she. What is up, y'all? SLX is here. Look at that sun. Oh, get yourself some sun. Get yourself some oxygen. So I was doing a complete 8-hour I was watching entrepreneur videos like they were movies last night. For every entrepreneur out there, this is what I recommend, okay? If you are starting your entrepreneurial journey, make your YouTube feed all entrepreneurial stuff and then watch for like how you watch movies for 100, 200, 300 hours a month. Just watch entrepreneurial content because you get nuggets. There's a guy in WFG who is a multimillionaire, and he talks about when you go to seminars, when you go to WFG meetings, you need to go to a lot. You need to go to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 WFG meetings in a month, because then you get nuggets. Where this is the thing about books too, why I read like 10 to 20 books at once, because what I do is I read a chapter from one book, then I have questions about the idea, so I go to another book that dives deeper into that same idea. So like Think and Grow Rich, every book has copied Think and Grow Rich. Every entrepreneur book is a replica of Think and Grow Rich. The only difference is that in Think and Grow Rich, he doesn't have 1,000 pages per chapter. So what happens is after I read certain ideas of Think and Grow Rich, I go to other sources and other books to dive deeper into what Napoleon Hill was talking about. Then the topics that get reinforced, like leadership, topics that get reinforced, like organized planning, what happens is the subconscious will sink the information into your unconscious mind that makes it into instinct. So what I wanted to talk about and do a hard left this whole video is about Apex. Apex is the secret out of the matrix. Let me explain to y'all. Just numerology, okay? Egyptian pharaohs were right. Pyramids and triangles are the secret, because triangles are the first possible geometrical shape. When you play Apex, there's squads of 3. How many sides are there on a triangle? 3. When you look at an equilateral triangle, each angle is 60 degrees. How many players are there per round in Apex? 60 players. 20. 20 is the vibration of Cyborg. I guess how many teams there are in Apex per game? 20 teams. In the new recent update, Apex, they did a hard reset. So they're starting that from day one. The only difference now is it's day one Apex, except that you have all the characters with day one abilities. So the reason why Apex is doing a hard reset is because they want to find out how to make their game better. Now check this out. What's gonna happen is after they do this 40-day trial of day one Apex, once Apex quote unquote goes back to the map rotations of E District, Broken Moon, Storm Point, King's Canyon, World's Edge, all the other good maps that are in Apex, the player-based community is going to realize, wow, Apex is so insane that they took the exact same mechanics and the exact same each character and put onto different maps. Why it goes up even further in terms of numerology is when you're playing Apex, your aim and goal is always to get like 30 to 40 freaking kills a game. Your aim is always to get like 10k damage a game. That's just an instinct. That has become part of every Apex player's instinct, is to bum rush every opponent. When I play Apex, I'm always W king. I only W key. And on top of that, when you play Apex, you get smarter. The reason why you get smarter is because it's the hardest game out there. And I'm compared to Fortnite, okay? This entire video is about Apex, but the reason why I became an Apex Pro is because I know that after winning ALGS, FNCS is gonna be fucking easy. Let me explain why. ALGS is the hardest gaming platform out there because you have teams of 3, and when you're moving, it's a love triangle between you and your other 2 teammates. Every decision you make, it always takes time because you're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's not an even number. That's why Apex Duos Champion tournaments are more fun, but there's not as much money there as Trio Championships. Then when you go back to Fortnite, FNCS solos, holy shit, you don't have your team holding you back. This is why I want to get so good at Apex that I can solo ALGS. Like, I want to get so good at Apex that the devs just let me play as a solo and I could just get 20. I literally, the best, like, South Korea, Japan, China, Asia, whatever, NA, South America, Australia, New Zealand, the whole world, Canada, all 7 continents. I am the best Apex Legends player ever, period. That the devs will let me just play solo ALGS. That's what I want to get to. That's where I want to get to. Then when I go back to Fortnite, holy shit, I'm going to be sleeping when I play at FNCS. Because you're not playing at FNCS you're not getting better at Fortnite to play at FNCS. You're playing at FNCS to get better at Fortnite. I'm going to say that again. You're not getting better at Fortnite to play at FNCS. You're playing at FNCS to get better at Fortnite. So how does this all tie back into the entrepreneurial journey? It's because it's the Matrix. It's because it's the meta. All right, Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg joining together to create Meta. So we're living in the metaverse. People that are living in the metaverse, if you're a billionaire and don't play video games, you're going to fall behind in the crypto takeover, because this is why you have to play crypto in Apex, because unconsciously you're going to see his name over and over again. Crypto, 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 crypto. And eventually Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum are going to become basic knowledge for you. I mean, look at the crypto scam, the heist that happened recently, where some guy fell for a whole team of teenagers, literally a multi-millionaire with who knows how much net worth, fell for a teenage prank. The owner of the crypto, guys, just look up the crypto heist that happened recently, okay? $230 million. Look up the crypto heist that happened recently. The guy, the entrepreneur that gave those teenagers money, he did that on purpose. You guys understand that? The guy that, like, whoever took all of his crypto, whatever, he did that on purpose. You think multi-millionaires and whatever are that fucking dumb to just splurge their crypto and shit like that? No, that guy did that on purpose. The multi-millionaire that let the teenagers heist him, he did it on purpose, guys. Like, if you think that, oh, he got scammed, oh, the heist, these teenagers, whatever, no. The entrepreneur let the teenagers, quote unquote, heist his crypto. So it's like, he was just letting kids have fun, because that guy probably has way more fucking millions of dollars in Ethereum and in stable coins and Solana. Because multi-millionaires, right, they're not dumb. If multi-billionaires, they're not dumb. So like those teenagers that heisted him, he let that happen because he probably had fucking, who knows, billions of dollars in stable coins, billions of dollars in other types of crypto. Right? Look at the FTX owner. He's a fucking billionaire in his 30s. Mark Zuckerberg became a billionaire in his 30s. So it's like, you guys didn't understand that these scams, these heists, it's just movies. It's just content. It's just for you to watch more TV. It's just to distract you. But if you, fucking this content, right? If you open up your third eye and actually watch the world for what it is, you know for a fact that entrepreneur let those kids take his money. It was a donation. It was a Make-A-Wish Foundation, because crypto is not crypto is not real money. It's just an electrical currency. So the guy was like, whatever, fucking just take this electrical currency. It's not real. I don't care. He probably wanted to get rid of his crypto anyway because of how maybe at that point he wanted to invest more in stable coins. So he was like, fuck it, let me just give these kids all this crypto. I want to go invest in stable coins anyways. And so what I want to explain to you guys in this entrepreneurial journey and how it goes back to Apex, how it goes back to Fortnite, okay, is developing instinct in the metaverse. Let's say 200 years ago, instinct was as soon as I, like, let's say I'm in a lean-to or in my hut, okay, and now I hear rumbling. Okay, I hear rumbling. That means the buffalo are moving. So I'm going to go tell the tribal leader, hey, the buffalo are moving. So we're nomads. So we're going to pick up all of our tents. We're going to get all of our gear. We're going to get on our horses. We're going to start following the buffalo. And everything happens in 45 minutes to an hour. We're already trailing, sniffing out where the buffalo going. Okay, 200 years ago. Now the metaverse is different. I am so fucking good at Apex now. I am so fucking good at Fortnite now. Now I'm an instinct player. I'm an instinct player. So you know how for bodybuilding, there's instinct bodybuilding now. For instinct bodybuilding, what happens is after a couple years, you realize, okay, this kink, this part of my body needs this. I want to put blood in this part of my muscles, in my rear delts, in my calves, in my triceps. I want to put blood here, blood here. You become an instinctual bodybuilder. You know what your body needs in that moment. How do I get blood flowing from my shoulders? Then I'm going to warm up my lower back. Then I'm going to warm up my hips. Then I'm going to do a full leg workout. Like sometimes you have to procedurally go through your whole body to understand all your kinks. That's what we call instinctual bodybuilding, where you go in, you have a set exactly what you're going to do. If you're preparing for a bodybuilding show, you know exactly what you're going to do when you go in the gym. You're going to do lat pull downs, you're going to do back, you're going to do hips, and you're going to do glutes. But what happens is as you're lifting, the instinct kicks in. All right, I know I have a plan to work out for 90 minutes, but after I do it, I'm going to do a 20-minute tricep workout and a 20-minute abs workout, because instinctually I know that that's what my body needs to then increase my performance for the bodybuilding show. This is the exact way that I play Fortnite and Apex. I'm so fucking good at these games. I know exactly what to practice, how to practice when situations arise. See, for instance, the Watson door trick, okay? I will practice the Watson door trick 200, 300, 1,000, 10,000 times with a certain amount of binds. And I go, that didn't feel right. So I'll change my binds just a little bit to optimize for the door trick. Then I'll do it 10,000, 20,000 times, okay? That didn't feel right. I want to change my ADS button. So I'll rearrange my ADS button. I'll rearrange my extra character action. I'll rearrange my node button just a little bit. So then I'll do it 100,000 times and I'll go, okay, that didn't feel right. Let me go and see what I can work on. Let's say for recoil control on Apex. If I'm playing Apex and I want to practice my recoil control, I'll modify the ADS settings just a little bit. I'll modify my button binds just a little bit. So then instinctually I know what to work on, how to work on. Go into a pub match, grab any gun, practice the recoil. Go into any pub match, do the door trick again and again and again. Go into any pub match, drop down. As soon as I get my ultimate, put the ult down. Then wall bounce off the ult. And I do those practice, and I do that 1,000, thousands, and hundreds of thousands of times. And instinctually, I realize, if it doesn't feel absolutely flow water, unconscious, I have to critique it just a little bit. Because I've changed my button binds and settings 100,000 infinity times, 400,000 infinity times on Apex. That now I just go instinctually, even mid-game, I could change my settings. And just that mid-game change settings, I could dominate the entire lobby, right? Then Fortnite. Holy shit. I'm a virtuoso. I've been playing Fortnite for more than 7 years. So do your research. To become a virtuoso, you need to be hard mastering a craft for more than 7 years. And I've been playing Fortnite since I was 14. I'm 21 now. So I have 7 years, probably over fucking 20,000 hours in Fortnite. Maybe even 50,000 hours up to this point. Because compounded over time, year after year after year, just putting hours and hours in after month, just 300 hours every month in Fortnite. I am so fucking good at Fortnite now that I don't even think about the settings. I just think about pyramid, floor, wall, next gun, pickaxe, shoot, aim, ADS, slide, sprint. I don't even think about the binds anymore. My hands and my fingers and the eye muscle connection, I have spent so much time in the settings. I've changed my binds so many times. I have so many controllers. I've practiced different grips. I've pressed the buttons with all different combinations, everything, whatever, you name it. I've held things in my hands while playing. I've pressed the buttons with just you name it. I've practiced. I've worked out. I would do handstand push-ups in between solo ranked matches, okay? Then now when I'm playing the game, I don't even think about what are my binds anymore. All I'm thinking about is place pyramid, place wall, place gun, place shoot, do this, do that, do that, blah, blah, blah. W key, W key, W key, W key, 40 kills a game, 50 kills a game, 20,000 damage, whatever. That's all I'm thinking about when I'm playing Fortnite, because I'm so good at the game. That it's not to get better at Fortnite to win FNCS, it's to win FNCS to get better at Fortnite. It's not to win ALGS. Right, it's not to get better at Apex to win ALGS. It's to win ALGS to get better at Apex. So to wrap all of this back into the entrepreneurial journey and instinct and how I opened up this vlog with, is once you're able to tap into your instinct, because we are living in the metaverse, instead of, I hear buffalo, time to follow the buffalo, now it's, I'm in the metaverse, this electrical currency is going to make me more money. Okay, instinctually as an entrepreneur, I need to follow that. Understand that? So how do you develop instinct? You have to train it, right? This is why I say become a virtuoso. If you start training your instinct, where every time you wake up, the first thing you do when you wake up is you do a cold call to a niche in your sales niche. Let's say you want to do a sales niche in clinics. These clinics can be massage clinics. These clinics can be oxygen clinics. These clinics can be red light therapy clinics. These clinics can be cold plunge clinics, can be sauna clinics. What you want to do now is, okay, as soon as I wake up, I'm going to cold call a bunch of these clinics. Then after 7 years of training that, what happens when you wake up, you realize, okay, now I'm taxed and ready for the world. Because what happens is when you immediately wake up and do like 20 cold calls, you're in a state of alpha theta state, because you wake up, you're in delta, alpha, beta, all these beta waves are going through, you're in a meditative state. So what that's gonna allow you to do is learn really fucking fast. And you just woke up, right? Then after you woke up, after you did your 20 cold calls, you journal about it, right? And the thing is, you can never go back in time. So by you doing those 20 cold calls, you're only gonna thank yourselves, because you learn how to speak better, you understand technology better, you understand how to do cold calls better. Now, this is not sustainable. I'm not saying do this every single day for 7 years. What I'm explaining is, after a few weeks of doing this, you then develop thick skin. So then when you do actual sales meetings, when you take L's are W's, because even though the sales meeting didn't go through and you didn't get the contract signed and your hand shook, you still learned about, okay, this is how to negotiate. So failing is losing, losing is learning. So technically you win more when you lose, you win more when you fail, right? This is why a part of me just wants to get into tournaments just to lose, right? I want to get into sales meetings just to get rejected so I can learn more. And so for instinct, let's say you're going to do something that's more in business, more in nutrition, more in food. For instinct, it's always to look at the back of the labels. For instinct, it's always to, maybe I can learn how to grow my own food. For instinct, it's how do I grow my own food, right? You develop the skill. It takes 7 years to develop instinct, because you have to become a virtuoso in that skill, right? Oh, you're a prodigy. No, you're not. Prodigy doesn't exist, okay? Oh, you're a 4-year-old playing piano. Blah, blah, blah. It that exist. That 5-year-old, whatever. Now there's beatbox prodigies. No, there's no such thing as a prodigy. There's virtuosos. It's impossible to start playing piano and then all of a sudden you become a master. Let's say you're 7 years old, you become a master in 3 months. Yeah, it took 3 months for them to become a virtuoso, but they're not a prodigy. Prodigies is not real. You're not just born and then all of a sudden you do something and fuck, you're a prodigy. You're a virtuoso, right? And that definition ranges from everyone. But in average, for human development, it takes 7 years of hard working on the craft to become a virtuoso. That's why, like, these young kids and young prodigies, I would call it is luck. What I mean by luck, all it is those electrical synapses when you're really young that learn very fast. That's all it is. There's no such thing as prodigy. You're not born all of a sudden you can just do whatever. It's because you're young and the electrical synapses can learn really, really fast. That's literally it. There's no such thing as prodigies. So get that out of your head, okay? Nothing is a prodigy. Everyone, you can train everything. Entrepreneurship is literally just reps. You're literally just training yourself to go to a stranger, ask them, hey, do you have life insurance? They say yes. You say, all right, cool, move on. They say no. You say, would you like to buy life insurance? They say yes. All right, cool, move on. They say no. All right, cool, move on to the next person. Because think about it. If there's 15 billion to 20 billion people on this earth, how many people do you think have life insurance? Surprisingly a lot, but also surprisingly not that many. So, because WFG is about policies and life insurance, that pitch is literally the secret formula. You go up to someone, This is why I talk about doing cold calls to give yourself thick skin. Because now they have thick skin after doing 30,000 cold calls, let's say. Because let's say I've done what? Probably thousands of cold calls in my career. So I haven't hit that, 10,000 threshold, but I've done thousands of cold calls in my career. So now that I've done thousands of cold calls, right, to business owners and whatnot, and for me, my micro niche, my niche was WFG agents. So I cold call hella WFG agents, and I got to learn the ins and outs of what WFG was, in the sense that a WFG agent, all they do is they go up to a stranger, they ask, hey, do you have life insurance? Stranger says yes, you go, all right, cool, you move on. Stranger says no, you say, all right, cool, you move on with the conversation. Would you like to buy life insurance? Person says yes, all right, cool, you sell them the life insurance. Person says no, you go, all right, move on to the next person. Because you can't explain to people, you can't convince people to buy things, because humans are animals, right? Humans move on instinct. Necessarily, I don't believe in evolution. I'm one of those guys that don't believe in the whole Darwin evolution. Like, how the fuck did humans evolve and change formation and whatnot? Like, I just think that humans spawned. Like, whoever the creator was just spawned humans the same way that they spawned Earth, they spawned bacteria, they just spawned humans. That's how I see it, but whatever. In the sense that our prefrontal cortex, our decision maker, is dormant. 90% of people don't even activate this part of their brain. Even people in their 30s and 40s never activate this. And how do you activate this? By reading books, by exercising, by personal development, by journaling. That's how you activate this. By being instinctual. Every single day you say, I'm going to activate my prefrontal cortex, my medium, my medial prefrontal cortex. Every single day you tell yourself, I'm going to activate this. My medial, my medium, my modero prefrontal cortex, I'm going to activate it. My modero prefrontal cortex, I'm going to activate it. My modero prefrontal cortex is activated. My medium, my modero, my prefrontal cortex is activated. My prefrontal cortex is activated. You train that, and eventually you go, oh shit, everything I've been taught was a lie. It's not to go to school to go to school. It's to go to school to practice learning. This is where everyone got lied to, okay? So I'm supposed to go to school to get smarter and educated. Then why do I feel dumb when I go to school? Right? This is the human body never lies. If you go to school and you feel anxious, that's your body literally rejecting school. So what you got to do now is work within the matrix. If you're in high school and this is real homie advice. Get a detention. And I'm not saying do anything crazy. Just maybe skip a few classes. That's all. Maybe 1 or 2 classes to get you in the detention center. Then when you're in detention, don't view it as you're in trouble. View it as a meditation. Detention, meditation, there's a reason why those words rhyme. Okay? And peep game, no one watches my video. So to the fraction of audience members, and if a teenager ever watches this, maybe skip a few classes. Your school is going to put you in school detention. When you're in detention, meditate. Open up your third eye. As a teenager, you can still do this. While you're in meditation, sit there and think tangibly in the next 5 years, what am I going to accomplish? Now, to rewire your brain, what you want to realize is this. Everything that school has taught us was in ear, went out the other ear. Versus actual learning is when you apply the information. This is why math is very hard for people, because they're not directly applying the information. So what happens is learning needs to process into your RAS. That's literally it. So how you get to train your RAS. So how do you train your RAS? Visualization. So seeing your goal. What does that mean? If you want to make $1 million, take a picture of put a picture in your background or something of just straight up cash of $1 million, right? And for people that are in school right now, I'm in college student. I'm in college right now, okay? Right now I'm a full-time college student. I have a full-time job, right? And I'm also trying to become an entrepreneur. So on this journey, right? What's happening is I'm realizing, oh shit, it was never to go to school to learn. It was to go to school to practice my learning. Because when I go to school, I learn jack shit. When I go to school, I learn nothing valuable. But then when I go to my entrepreneurial shit, my sales books, when I go to my entrepreneurial shit, my whatever, my third-party courses that people think they're skeptical, but actually give you all the information that you need about life, from these millionaire and billionaire entrepreneurs that make these courses because they actually care. What happens is you realize every time I go to school, all I'm doing is practicing my learning. So for school, let's say there's a skill I want to learn. Let's say it's memorization. Then what I'll do is I'll just take definitions from whatever classwork that we need, and I'll just memorize the words. Why? So then when I go into entrepreneur or business meetings, if I have to memorize 10 to 15 business terms before that meeting, I can do it because I've practiced my learning skills. Let's say I want to learn how to do math better. I'll go to school and I'll practice learning my math. Then when I go actually to do my entrepreneurial math stuff about finances and shit, I go, oh shit, I can learn this super fast because I've practiced learning. People don't realize that you have to practice how to learn. Then over time, it turns into instinct. Okay, this is how to learn. Headphones in my ears, blasting podcasts about the subject while I'm working out. While I'm journaling with multiple pens at the same time. While I'm playing video games, Apex, Fortnite, I have entrepreneur videos in the background. So even though I'm still playing Fortnite and Apex, I'm still being productive because I have entrepreneur videos in the background. You guys understand what I'm saying? It is to take every second of your existence, squeeze everything out of existence, y'all. So this is a very fat vlog. I'm gonna post this right now. SLX, y'all. Peep game, wake up, reality, SLX, we're alive. The fact that anything exists means that we're alive. We can think we're alive, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So, my entrepreneurial billionaire idea is just SLX Oxygen. If you acetize, so this is the framework, okay? Originally, I acetized the whole damn Earth. You have to pay me to use Earth. And what is on Earth? Oxygen. So now, because the billionaires, how to make money is to solve the problem, right? And the difficulty to solve the problem. This is literally, because you need to become a billionaire, you need to put everything into one sentence, okay? This is it for me. This is the public announcement for everyone. I'm gonna teach y'all how to breathe. SLX Oxygen. I'm going to become a billionaire by selling oxygen. You will have to pay me to breathe. Genghis Khan totalitarian. It's a tough world, but you will, because oxygen is limited, you will have to pay me to breathe. I am finna teach y'all how to breathe. I am going to teach y'all how to breathe. Matter of fact, just breathe. Matter of fact, the motto to SLX Oxygen is one word: breathe. I'm going to become a billionaire by placing CO2 filters and oxygen tanks everywhere. I'm going to become a billionaire by placing oxygen tanks everywhere. I'm going to become a billionaire for one thing: breathe. If I own oxygen and you have to pay me to use oxygen, so this is how money scales. If you want to make money in this world, these are the three components you need to have. Number one, undeniable. What the fuck? Is you gonna deny air? You're gonna deny oxygen? Number two, in demand. What? In demand? Breathing is in demand? Oxygen is in demand? What the fuck? Finally, being the best at it. Being the best at breathing. I am the best at breathing. Period. That's it. Why? Because I have OCD about breathing. That's it. I can't breathe freely because every breath I do has to be worth it. I have to be worthy of the breath. So, billionaire idea. Breathe. Breathe. And what's funny is that the little logo on all the oxygen tanks is just going to be SLXO2. It's going to be the most finesse thing ever, SLXO2. And I was doing the math last night. It does not take long to become a multimillionaire by selling oxygen tanks. Let's say that each oxygen tank is $100,000. So each oxygen tank is $1,000 per pop, $100,000 per pop. So $100K, $100,000, $100K for each oxygen tank, right? And let's say I get 40% on I get 44% on every single one. So after selling about 23 units, I will already be a millionaire. So to become a billionaire, I just have to do that 1,000 times. So what's 23 times 1,000? 2,300. So after I sell 2,300 oxygen tanks, I'll be a billionaire. It's very simple, guys. This is why I'm a mathematician. This is why I chose math as my major, and why I want to get into calculus is because I'm going to be the richest billionaire mathematician selling oxygen. You know, we talk about undeniable, in demand, being the best at it. I mean, come on, y'all. There's another route that I want to go with this. I'm thinking about it. So it was to be undeniable, is to be in demand, and being the best at it. The best at selling oxygen. I mean, that's just crazy. Like, obviously, totalitarian Genghis Khan, you have to pay me to breathe, but it's like, because of cryptocurrency, and in 300 years, we're going to achieve sovereignty, that instead of me taking your money, I'll probably take, like, you know, grapes, blueberries. Like, once the bartering system resets, maybe I'll ask for, like, some type of metaverse stuff in exchange. Like, if you give me, you know, whatever metaverse amusement park for 1,000 Ethereum, I will give you 2 oxygen tanks. Some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So, why this scales even further is because who the fuck is gonna be selling oxygen tanks to the higher ups when they start going to space? This guy. Who the fuck is gonna be the oxygen specialist when we're in space? This guy. I'm gonna be the mathematician guy on fucking Mars, you know, in my next life, in 1,000 years, whatever, saying, oh, we gotta put this compression of oxygen here, this compression of CO2 here, this compression of hydrogen here, this compression of nitrogen here. In 1,000 years, in my next life, right, I'm gonna be the fucking mathematician on Mars, trying to get to Saturn, right? Fucking compressing O2 level at 0.99 degrees, nitrogen level at 37.057%, then hydrogen level at 95.08%, then CO2 levels correctly at 25%, then on Saturn in 10,000 years, in my next life, I'm gonna be on Saturn, that fucking mathematician geek with nanotech. Oh, if I combine nanotech with this element here, with Saturn here, then I can convert 50% of my atoms into Saturn's atoms, combined with the nanotech, that 50% is me, 50% is Saturn, that 25% is atoms, that 25% is atoms of oxygen and nitrogen and hydrogen and nitrogen that my body's made out of. And then we have more compression of this space and time, so that way our bodies don't get destroyed by the gravity. So then that way I can distort this amount, and the audio here, and the live ability here, and the nanotech here of 20% agriculture, and we need H2O. So 40% of the nanotech I'm going to convert to water, 40% of the nanotech I'm going to convert into protein, riboflavin, bacteria. Like, in 10,000, 20,000 years, in my next life, I will be the person on Saturn, the nanotech mastermind, making Saturn into a habitable planet by humans or whatever species we are. Fucking we're aliens. Fucking we just spawned. We're Homo sapiens that just spawned, right? So in 20,000 years, whatever, when I'm on Saturn, nanoteching everything so that way we can live on Saturn as a species, whatever species we are, Homo sapiens, cyborgs, androids, whatever you want to call us. I'm gonna be that guy. And it all started here on Earth by me selling oxygen. You have to pay me to breathe. Selling oxygen, SLX oxygen. The motto, just breathe. SLX oxygen, breathe. Everywhere you're gonna see it. You're gonna see oxygen tanks. You're gonna see the mask with oxygens. You're gonna see fucking just regular fans even, and everything is gonna be based off of the one motto: breathe. That's it. 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 You know, and there is something that's pretty crazy. So if any of you look up the definition of oxygen, okay, the Latin like and Greek roots, oxy means acidic. Oxy means acidic. Oxy also means sharp, acute, keen, smart. Gen means origin, birth. So I put these words together and I was like, oxygen, acidic birth, acidic born, acidic rebirth. It's kind of crazy how oxygen is acidic. Oxygen is an acid, guys. This is why you have to breathe. So on some days, I would oxygenate so fucking crazy that my body would be tired. And all I did that day was breathe. Like, duh, but I would like actually push myself to intake oxygen because it was a windy ass day. On days that are windy as hell or whatever, while I'm driving my car, window fully open and I'm just breathing as hard as I can. Some of those nights, I would feel so fucking tired. There's a reason. It's because oxygen is an acidic detox. It goes into your body and the acidity of the oxygen detoxes your body. It kills all the bad toxins. So you feel tired because your body quote unquote digested oxygen. So since digestion takes energy, quote unquote, when you digest oxygen, you're also burning energy. This is why it's important to oxygenate, because you're getting rid of all the toxins in your body to the point that you actually get tired after. It's crazy. Like, I oxygenate so hard sometimes I get tired from breathing. It's actually insane, bro. But that's a good thing. That means that, so this is the thing is, if you oxygenate to the point where you feel light, that's where you want to get to. If you feel light on your feet, that means you're oxygenated. If you feel heavy and sluggish, it means you're not oxygenated. So, how do you oxygenate? Okay, go outside and then just breathe. Now, just take it a step even further is to do exercise while you're outside. The reason why I say I'm the best at breathing is because I do handstand push-ups. For all of my calisthenics athletes that do handstand push-ups, we are the next generation of manifestors that are going to change the world because of our breath. Do you know how powerful calisthenics athletes are when we breathe? If you're on a pair of bars, okay, and you're doing a handstand push-up down to 90 degrees, up to planche, back up to handstand, bro, you know how much breath and oxygen you're intaking in those moments? That literally just by breathing, the whole reality around you is warping. If you want to change your realities, change your breath, right? And I could do some handstand push-ups right now and do some breathing with y'all, but I already have videos of me that I posted of me doing that. So to wrap everything up, build instinct, right? It's not to get better at the game, to go play the tournaments. is to go play the tournaments to get better at the game. All right, oxygenate, SLX oxygen, breathe.